This is Matrix Lord 212. Okay, so I do need to make a video about this because people have been asking me, Matrix Lord 212, how is it that you're able to get multiple platinums for multiple games? Okay, each game you could look up on PlayStation profiles, okay, and they tell you how many versions of that game is. Example, the Silver Age, it will have it listed in codes, like basically NA is North America, EU is Europe, AS is Asia, and JP is Japan. Now, keep in mind that there are 4 regions for each system, correct? So, if you had a PS3, a PS4, PS5, there'll be multiple versions. Now, nowadays, games are released on PS4 and PS5. In some cases, there are 8 versions of the game. Meaning, you have to buy, in some cases, 8 versions of the game. Some cases, you're able to cross-buy, meaning that you only have to buy 4 versions of the game because they allow you to have a PS5 version for free. But most of the time, you have to buy all 8 versions. So if the game is $1, it will cost $8. Now, it just won't cost $8 because here's the thing. You need to have an email address for each account to create one. So you have to create a new user on your PlayStation to rectify and mean that region. So you buy the game on that user and you download it to your PS4, PS5. And then you switch the user back to your home user, your main user, and you play that game on your main account. So when I go buy games for Japan, I select the Matrix Lord 212 Japan account, buy them, and put it in my PlayStation, and then switch the user back to the main thing and play it. Now, it isn't that simple. You can't just buy a PlayStation card. You need to buy a Japan PlayStation card, an Asian PlayStation card, a Europe PlayStation card, and you can't buy them in the stores. You have to go through an organization like Play Asia, and if you wanted, let's say, a $10, if you wanted to spend, let's say, okay, let me get the best example I could say. All right. If you wanted to buy a $20 European card, it's not going to cost you $20. It's going to cost you way more. It could cost you $22. It could cost you $26. You lose money because you're paying for that version of the PlayStation card. So in some cases, I just got a Japan PlayStation card for only, it was about, I think, $10.79 or $10.99 or whatever it was. But it's not $10 worth of a Japan card. It's like $8 worth. You understand? So you kind of lose, but you have to. This is a very expensive hobby. I mean, unless you're going to be on the leaderboards and you want to compete, to just create multiple accounts, it's probably going to be a waste of money if you're not going to be in competition, if you're not going to try to be number one or whatever you want to be in your region. So to spend all this type of money just to have a trophy, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you are in competition like I am and serious about your gaming, know that it's going to be very expensive. Also, when you open up a Japanese, let's say, PlayStation account to get the Japanese games, unfortunately, your PlayStation will be translated into Japanese. So unless you figure out the language, you will be completely lost and not know how to turn the system back to English, okay? So I'm warning you, you got to figure this out, and you got to think about this long and hard before you do this, because there's no turning back. It's going to be very difficult for you to just try to figure out the language if you don't know what you're doing, and you just don't know Japanese. So you're going to have a phone, and you're going to have to learn. You don't have to learn the whole entire language, but you just basically need to learn the basic stuff to navigate. So when you create a Japanese account, they can't put it in English. It's in Japanese. In Europe, I had created a German account. It's in Germany, all right? German language. The best way I could show it to you is I have to show you what my screen looks like. So here goes. Okay, so this is my American account. This is my Japanese account. This is my Germany account. And this is my Asia account. Now, there's also an Australian account and other accounts, whatever. But the thing with that is that sometimes in Australia, games are released like 24 hours early. So if you really, really want to play the game 24 hours earlier than anybody, that's my account right there. But it's more expensive. So let's just go into this account. This is Japan, right? So now, basically, we're going to go into the store, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, so here, off the bat, there is your Japanese. Everything is in Japanese. So unless you know what you're doing, you have no idea how to navigate this at all, okay? Again, if you remember briefly, and it's not always in the same order, but the next to the last is how you enter the PlayStation cards. That I know for sure, okay? And going back to this, basically, whatever this symbol means, right? You click on this, and then you click all the way to this. Now, again, it's hard to teach you how I learned this, okay? But I did. So, again, I'm also having a problem with the loading for the PlayStation. It's very, 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 very slow sometimes after midnight. I don't know why. So this is my nightmare. I'm waiting for the screen to appear, and it's not working now because I'm trying to do a video, so it's not working out, and you're gonna have to wait with me. But I don't even know if this thing will wait with me, like if my camera could last that long. Okay, so now it takes a little while. It starts to load up, okay? So now here's the thing. What I do is I go to this screen right here, right? Right there. I click on it. Now I put it all the way on the bottom because I want newest to oldest, right? And then I click this, and I go to this symbol, okay? Not the bottom one because you get lost, all right? And then it tells you the price points. They're not in American dollars. So you have to figure that out also. So let's just say we're going to go into this price range. So there you go. I just bought Froggo 2, okay, and it tells you, you know, the dollar amount for that, and you purchase your stuff. Now, let me try to see something I didn't purchase, which is going to be, okay, so right here, back again is, I guess, $3.49, but not American dollars. So you have to figure out the Japanese money when you're doing this. Again, it's not that simple, okay? I'm trying to, it's hard to explain, like, and then I just got Kroger, whatever, right? Now, as you're getting closer, like, this is getting to be, like, the price range of, let's say, a Breakthrough Game or something like that. Or, well, those things are like $4.99, but they're way more expensive in the Japanese market there. So you're paying a hefty penny for something that you probably would pay $4.99 for. You might be paying double for in Japan, okay? So we're going to get out of this right now, okay? And know that you cannot put it in English, all right? So I'm going to log out. And that was a Japanese one, right? So now I'm going to go into German account. Matrix Load Germany, okay? Okay, so we're going to go into here, and now it's in German, all right? So you have to figure this out, guys. You can't just sign this up, because then once you get stuck, you won't know how to turn your system back to normal. So I click on that one, Alle Spiel, whatever the hell that means. And then again, I'm back to that screen where we're going to put it from newest to oldest. So that's newest, Albanian, whatever the hell that is. I don't know. Okay. And then we're going to go, and we're going to go price, whatever the hell that is. And then it's going to be the dollar amounts. Okay. So let's see, we're going to choose this. Okay. And this will load all the stuff for that price point. Okay. But again, the good thing is they don't charge tax. The bad thing is they charge more money sometimes. Sometimes very rarely they charge less, but most of the time they charge more. So a break, say Candy Break game, like what do you call it, Ninja Break, would be $6.99 American dollars. It would be $7.99, but not necessarily that's American dollars, but it's way more money. So again, guys, just know what you're doing before you do this, because if you get stuck, it's going to be very hard to try to learn how to navigate it on the fly. So I'm going to log out of that. And then once you put the games in there, you make sure it loads into the system. And then boom, there you are. Like I have right here, this is Kruger from Japan. Kruger 2, Froggo 2 from Japan. I just beat Silver Age from Japan. So now I'm probably going to have to put money into my Asia account to get the Asia PlayStation card. So let me come back here. Hold on. So basically, I used the link to Play Asia, and I would have to have, you'd have to have money on your, it's hard because some of the credit cards, you have to have your credit cards probably linked to your PayPal or by itself, and you would have to go to Play Asia. You would choose what PlayStation card you want from what region. You have to set up an account with them. You have to write everything all out, and then you have to buy each individual card. Now, unfortunately, every single credit card you own will think it's fraud because they're like, why are you buying something in Japan? When you're not in Japan, but you're buying it from the site. So you're always constantly dealing with fraud alerts, and you have to tell your credit card, it's okay, I'm a gamer, I'm buying a PlayStation card in Japan. A Japanese PlayStation card, I'm not in Japan. So you have to constantly do that. It's a pain in the ass. Once you buy the card, you have to know that the money you pay for is not completely what you get to use. Like I said, if you wanted a Japanese card, sometimes you might have to pay a few more dollars, but not get that dollar amount. All right. So I hope this kind of clears this up for you. There's a North American region. There is a European region, an Asian region, and a Japan region for PS4. There's also a North American region, European region, Asia region, Japan region, PS5. I'm pretty sure it's the same way for PS3. But anyway, sometimes they'll have 8 versions of the game. Sometimes you actually have to pay 8 times. So if a game is $10, it's $80. So it gets very expensive. But you're not paying $80 because you're probably paying way more for that PlayStation card. So probably going to need an accountant eventually, if it gets like that. Which I should have an accountant, but I don't have an accountant. But anyway, the amount of money I spend is ridiculous on games. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask. This message was basically made for Spam Them YouTuber, who is like on my PlayStation list. He's called Spam Than, Than. So this is for him. I hope it's helped. But just try to really think this through before you do it. Because again, if you don't know what you're doing, you might get stuck in a different language in your PlayStation. And you're pulling your hair out of your head to try to get back to your main account. All right, take care. Bye for now.